Rental companies, you've been busted.
Welcome to my channel, Clark the Realtor. Don't forget to subscribe and let's get started.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Devon Clark, or Clark the Realtor. I am a local realtor in the metropolitan area of Atlanta, Georgia. Before we get into this particular topic in this video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and put your notifications on to be alerted when new videos get uploaded to the channel. And let's jump into this mess. If you guys don't know, the FBI has started doing an investigation into several management companies around America. And currently, they recently just did an investigation down here in the metropolitan area with one of many big management companies down here in the metropolitan area, and that is called Cortland. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some of this information. I'm going to kind of share where it might have started at. This information could go deeper than this. So if you guys know anything in regards to how deep it goes or where it might have started to what I'm stating in this video, just put it below in the comments. Let's have a discussion. So I first heard about this whole FBI investigation in regards to cracking down on the different rental property management companies back in 2022. And so this came as far as I saw it on YouTube, a clip in regards to this as far as price fixing. So it started in Denver, Colorado. It says tens of thousands of Coloradians live in apartment complexes whose management companies are accused of algorithmic price fixing that inflated rental prices across the nation. A group of apartment renters brought a class action lawsuit against some of the nation's largest landlords on October 19th, including Greystar, Lincoln, FPI, Mid-America, Avenue 5, Equity, Essex, Thrive, and Security Properties. It says the companies accused of inflating rent prices. The lawsuit includes real estate analytics software firm RealPage. So RealPage is kind of the glue in all this. So all these companies, what they have related to each other is this particular software called RealPage. They all have been utilizing this software data. And I'm going to say, as far as in my opinion, why this kind of gets sticky in regards to the whole price fixing and being an anti-competitive type of lawsuit per se, but not only that, but like antitrust laws. The lawsuit includes real estate analytics software again firm RealPage as a defendant. A ProPublica investigation preceding the lawsuit found high concentrations of RealPage using landlords in cities where rents have risen dramatically in the past few years. It alleges that each of the management companies illegally share RealPage's algorithm-born pricing with each other in order to inflate rental prices rather than competing with each other on rent prices to attract renters. So typically they always say you have like fair market value, like, you know, the freedom to create prices any way that you want to, right? In this situation, what happened is that using this RealPage software, these companies are taking information in which landlords are putting inside of the software and saying like, hey, this is how much I'm charging for a 1-bedroom apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment. And then that in turn is having these companies go in there, get that data, pull it, and then start doing the same thing for their apartments without actually just looking at the fair market evaluation and saying like, okay, you know, this is how I'm gonna price this because of this, and having like competitive prices to go against each other. So it's not creating a monopoly where everything is ran by, you know, one big conglomerate and all prices are the same. So RealPage, this is a little information about them. RealPage provides a technology platform that enables real estate owners and managers to change how people experience and use rental space. So I have to break that down and say real estate owners and managers because lately some people who are unfortunately reading the information incorrectly, they thought that this was brought up upon realtors. So realtors, we have nothing to do in this particular case, in this situation. Please do not add us in this situation, okay? But anyway, this is real estate owners. So if you are a real estate investor, someone that owns real estate property or real property as they call it, you are considered a real estate owner. And then also managers, so anyone who manages that property. So if they have a property management company, that's who they are talking about in regards to RealPage. It says clients use the platform to gain transparency into asset performance, leverage data insights, and monetize space to create incremental yields. Founded in 1998 and headquartered in Richardson, Texas, RealPage currently serves over 24 million units worldwide from offices in North America, Europe, and Asia. And again, this company uses software to, like they said right here, it says to give insight and it says to gain transparency in asset performance and leverage data insights. So if you're leveraging data insights, you're allowing these companies to come into the platform, put what they're charging for their rent, and these other companies can then leverage that data or that information that these other companies are putting into this software. I think it's just insane that these property management companies are creating these astronomical prices in which people cannot afford to rent. It's already hard to buy a house because of the way the housing market has inflated throughout the pandemic time frame. However, the rent has also changed astronomically, where in the beginning of 2019, let's just say, this is hypothetical, let's say your rent might have been $1,000, and then once we hit 2022, 2023, all of a sudden your rent inflated $500 plus, $600 plus dollars. So now you're going in a span of 2 years, this whole amount of money just randomly inflating. And what happened is that some of these management companies were saying, well, you know, we decided to inflate it because during that time, the government froze the thing as far as the creating this whole time frame where people didn't have to worry about paying their rent, and we couldn't get, we weren't making no money. So that's the reason why, due to that whole freeze, now we want to create these astronomical rent prices. And I'm like, no. Now let's dive into what price fixing is. Price fixing is an agreement, written, verbal, or inferred from conduct among competitors to raise, lower, maintain, or stabilize prices or price levels. Generally, the antitrust laws require that each company establish prices and other competitive terms on its own without agreeing with a competitor. When purchasers make choices about what products and services to buy, they expect that the price has been determined on the basis of supply and demand and not by an agreement among competitors. Price fixing is a major concern of the government antitrust enforcement. Individuals and companies that knowingly enter price fixing agreements are routinely investigated by the FBI, and that is why the FBI is investigating this particular software company, RealPage, currently, and also these different management companies that were inside that system, because they were like, this could possibly be price fixing. Because again, these management companies, these real estate owners, they are sharing information in a system, and they're quote unquote price fixing according to what other people are putting inside this particular software. You gotta, look into it deeper, so that the FBI kind of gets involved, the Department of Justice, different things like that. They kind of get involved to see what's really going on. And other federal law enforcement agencies can be criminally prosecuted. Potential penalties include lengthy terms of imprisonment up to 10 years and large fines up to $1 million for individuals, $100 million for companies, or twice the gain or loss from the offense. Comment below in the comments. Let's create a conversation around this. Please, if you are watching this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Okay, so this is according to the Federal Trade Commission, the anti-competitive practices. The FTC takes action to stop and prevent unfair practices, business practices that are likely to reduce competition and lead to higher prices, reduce quality of levels of service, or less innovation. Anti-competitive practices include activities like price fixing, which is what we are focusing on right now. The FBI again has gone to RealPage, went inside their system, found these different management companies, and they're trying to see if they have been price fixing due to this particular software. Group boycotting, exclusive dealing contracts, or trade association rules, and generally grouped into two types. Agreements between competitors, also referred to horizontal conduct, or monopolization, also referred to as single firm conduct. So what it says here is February 5th, 2024. So just this year, it said first settlements reached in RealPage rental price fixing lawsuit. Two companies that own and operate multifamily residential properties have agreed to settle claims that they artificially inflated rental prices using RealPage revenue management software. It said lawyers from the renter plaintiffs said in a filing on Monday that they had reached a settlement to resolve all claims against Apartment Income REIT Corp in Nashville, Tennessee federal court litigation. They told the court on Friday that they reached an agreement with another defendant, Pinnacle Property Management Services, LLC, amongst the largest multifamily property management firms in the United States. So they have reached an agreement with two of the several property management companies that they went to court in regards to this price fixing. It says the terms of the agreements with Denver-based Apartment Income REIT, which does business as Air Communities, in Addison, Texas-based Pinnacle, owned by real estate services firm Cushman, hopefully I said that right, and Wakefield, were not disclosed. Despite the baselessness of the claims, Air is pleased to exit the litigation early in a favorable manner, a representative for Air Community said in the statement. A representative from Pinnacle did not immediately respond to a request for comment. And then it keeps going on, so you guys can definitely read into this, but they have had two particular management companies settle in regards to this, because they're just trying to get out of it. You know, they're like, okay, if we keep going on, because this is still in litigation, if we keep going on, it can bundle over and it can cost us millions of dollars. Of course, not only just paying for the lawyers to be in this whole litigation, but then also whatever payout occurs if the FBI, you know, per se finds these companies to be, of course, in talks of this price fixing and inflating the rents. So they're like, let's get out of here now. It says a rent monopoly crackdown continues as FBI raids corporate landlord for 18 Arizona properties. So this is where Cortland comes into play. Again, you guys know that Cortland is an Atlanta-based company in regards to property management, and they have several properties throughout the United States of America. And we're going to dive into a little bit about Cortland as well, so you guys know a little background about them. And so let's look at this one. So this was made this article was written June 3rd, 2024. So just recently, right now, we are in the month of June and we are in the year of 2024. So if you're looking at this in the future, how you doing? If you're looking at this in the past, how you doing? But anyway, it says federal agents raid a property management company operating in Arizona as a part of an investigation in price fixing rent, marking a distinct escalation in the renewed push to enforce consumer protection laws. Cortland, an Atlanta-based property management company, joins 9 other real estate conglomerates under investigation for creating a rental monopoly, resulting in rents across Arizona going up by more than 30% since 2022. That is ridiculous. That is literally 2 years, rent has gone up 30%. I believe there's a certain percent in which they can go up with rent, but 30% is astronomical, you guys. The common thread between the 10 is Real Pages. So again, like I stated in the beginning, Real Pages is a software in which they utilize to get quote unquote data insight from other property management companies or real estate owners. A co-defendant and consultant firm whose software they utilize to determine the maximum amount rent could be raised, then doing so in tandem in a minor Arizona attorney general, Chris Mays, has characterized as basically a monopoly, you guys. The conspiracy allegedly engaged in by Real Page and these landlords has harmed Arizonians and directly contribute to Arizona's affordable housing crisis, said Mays. This conspiracy stifled fair competition and essentially established a rental monopoly in our state's 2 largest metropolitan areas. It says, taking on anti-consumer corporations, the unannounced FBI raid on Cortland's corporate offices, as first reported by MLEX reporter Kay Vassant, because I don't know how to say that first name, I don't want to mess her name up or his name, took place as a part of a criminal investigation into Real Page and multiple landlords across the country. The probe started as a civil inquiry in 2022, was escalated to a criminal in March 2024 after a series of state-level investigations into Real Pages was announced in Washington, D.C., Arizona, and 5 other states. So again, creating a monopoly around these rental management companies. The state-level investigation in Arizona does not currently include Cortland, and the Attorney General's office declined to comment on whether they would be added to the current lawsuit or investigation separately. An analyst by the Copper Carrier found that roughly 100,000 rental units in the state are managed by companies listed in May's lawsuit, with the federal investigation into Cortland added to the mix.
A federal investigation is underway looking into an alleged scheme to hike up rent prices across the country. And this probe is now bringing federal investigators right here to Atlanta. 11 Alive's Joe Ripley has more on the court documents detailing how a particular software is now possibly causing rent prices to go up here.
The first day of the month,
I need my rent to get back like it was.
Always reminds Torrance Strong of the struggle.
I do Lyft, Instacart, DoorDash.
He does what he can to keep pace with his rising rent, up $500.
And I always say, you guys, you should not have to work several jobs to maintain a living around the world, no matter where you're at. You shouldn't have to work 2, 3, 4 jobs. I feel like you should only have to work one job to maintain a roof over your head and food in your belly. And if you want to buy, you know, things that you might not want, but that you might not need, but you want because you want to be flashy or you want to do different things, that's of course your own prerogative. But I don't feel like, and if you need to get another job to do so, then that makes sense. But I don't feel like the average person should have to work 2 jobs to sustain a life.
$4 in less than 4 years.
It's been taking a kind of a toll on me. We ain't been able to do no like vacations and stuff like we usually. When we first moved there, we used to do a lot of stuff, go out to eat, all that kind of stuff.
Federal investigators are currently looking into an alleged price-fixing scheme to drive up rent. Court documents outline an alleged nationwide scheme that relies on a software algorithm to create, quote, a new frontier that poses an even greater anti-competitive threat.
Federal investigators probe brought them here to Atlanta, looking into one key company in particular.
11 Alive confirmed FBI Atlanta agents went to Cortland's Atlanta office last month conducting what they call court-authorized activities. Cortland owns more than 80,000 homes and apartments across the country. In a statement, the company confirmed the FBI executed a limited search warrant at its Atlanta office as part of an ongoing investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice into potential antitrust violations in the multifamily housing industry. Cortland said it was fully cooperating with the investigation, adding, quote, we understand that neither Cortland nor any of our employees were targets of that investigation. According to Realtor.com, Atlanta rent has seen one of the greatest drops in rent prices since last year, but Torrance Strong has not felt that relief yet.
All right, you guys, so that is a recent video of what's happening currently in Atlanta. That happened a few days ago as far as them coming down here, the FBI, and raiding Cortland's management company in the Atlanta area. Okay, so let's dive into Cortland. So Cortland was founded in 2005 with a focus on multifamily development in Atlanta. During the economic downturn in 2008, they decided to shift their focus from developing communities to acquiring and renovating existing multifamily communities, all with a vision to change the conventions of traditional multifamily industry through better living spaces and experiences. By 2011, they owned and operated 5,000 apartment homes and meaningfully accelerated their plans to build a company that could deliver unique value to both their residents and partners. It says today, Cortland has become a global integral multifamily investment development and management firm focused on delivering resident-centric, hospitality-driven apartment living experiences. Here it says, headquartered in Atlanta, they own and manage apartment complexes across the United States with regional offices in Charlotte, Dallas, Denver, Greenwich, Houston, Orlando, and Phoenix. Internationally, they operate a we operate a build-to-rent management and development platforms in the UK. So as you guys can see, this particular management company is worldwide. So I don't know what's happening overseas. So if you are watching my video and you live overseas and your management company is Cortland, please have the discussion with us in the comments below. We just want to know what's going on because I don't know what's happening overseas. And again, this Realtor breakdown is already pretty long and I don't want to keep you guys no more, because if I started going diving deeper into the this whole Cortland thing, this whole RealPage software, this whole property management, price fixing possibly, it will take me an hour or 2 hours just to create this whole video for you. So this is diving into the whole Cortland Atlanta thing as well via this article called it says FBI raids corporate landlord and major rent price fixing probe, what it means for you. So it says the FBI's raid on Cortland management reveals a nationwide conspiracy to inflate rents, potentially impacting millions of renters, including those in Rhode Island. Discover how RealPage software allegedly manipulates rental markets and what this could mean for your rent. So what we're hoping this could mean for rent, you guys, is that the rent will come down or the rent will actually fall into a fair market value rent where we are not putting information into a software, and we are not creating these inflated rent prices where people can barely sustain to live nowadays because the rent is astronomically too high. And shoot, like I said it too, even the home prices and the mortgages, and we know the interest rates are crazy, but we do know that Jerome Powell said it's because of inflation, and right now he ain't going nowhere. Again, we're in 2024 in June, and Jerome said no. And a dramatic turn of events that could have far-reaching implications for renters nationwide, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, conducted an unannounced raid on Cortland Management headquarters in Atlanta on Wednesday, May 22nd. This action is a part of a criminal antitrust investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice. Remember, guys, I said the FBI, the U.S. Department of Justice, as I stated earlier with the Federal Trade Commission, right? The whole thing around price fixing, anti-competitive, antitrust, those things like that. And to allegations that Cortland has been involved in a conspiracy to artificially inflate apartment rents. The raid is more than just a legal drama. It's a significant development that could impact millions of renters, including those in Rhode Island who have been grappling with soaring rental prices. At the heart of this investigation, again, is RealPage software. Let's dive down here. It says RealPage influence is extensive, affecting rents for 70% of multifamily apartment buildings and 16 million units across the country. The scheme allegedly works by encouraging landlords to adapt RealPage's pricing recommendations, which they do 80 to 90% of the time. This coordinated effort among landlords to follow the software's suggestions drive up rental prices by reducing the availability of units. As one of RealPage's architects reportedly stated, the goal is to prevent landlords from undervaluing their properties, therefore ensuring higher rents nationwide. Cortland Management, which owns 85,000. So remember, initially, and on their website, it said they own 5,000 in regards to at that particular time. Now they're stating here in this article that they own about 85,000, because remember, they are global and they are in several states. So it says, which owns 85,000 rental units across 13 states, is a significant player in this alleged conspiracy. The impact of such practices is starkly evident in Atlanta, where 81% of multifamily rental unit prices are set using software, and rents have skyrocketed by 80%. 80%, you guys, since 2016. That is ridiculous. No one should be paying skyrocketing rents at 80% value. That's crazy. But again, this is something that's happening right now in real time. They are trying to make sure no one is price fixing and try to see how they can control these inflated rents. But nonetheless, thank you guys for joining me on this Realtor breakdown in regards to this price fixing investigation or probing, and when it comes to the FBI, the DOJ, and the Federal Trade Commission, to see if they are utilizing this software called RealPage to price fix these rents. And hopefully we pray to God there will be some relief in regards to these rents. So again, my name is Devon Clark the Realtor. I'm a realtor in the metropolitan area of Atlanta, Georgia. If you have any questions around real estate or any concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is below. If you're looking to buy, sell in regards to real estate, please reach out to me as well. My email is below. If you are in another state and you need a referral to a local realtor in that state, you can reach out to me as well. I can always refer you out to a great or wonderful realtor in that state. But I always tell people, make sure any referrals I give you that you interview these agents and make sure they work for you in regards to your transaction, to whether sell or buy a house. One more time, don't forget to like, subscribe, share the channel. Come on back, be a part of the family. We would love to see you here and inside these comments below to create a bigger discussion around what's happening in real estate. Take care, you guys.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.